Hi there, this is Art and Such with my Rainbow Loom tutorial for Roxanne from the Snoopy movie. This video is for a request I got not too long ago on my channel. For this pattern you're going to need some white, tan skin tone, dark blue, 1 gold or yellow, 3 black, a light blue or green, turquoisey green for the shirt, brown for the nose, orange for the hair. And the eyes I'm making with a couple of pearl beads and black Sharpie markers. They've been added on using a piece of dental floss. I'll show you how you can do that. And the earrings and beauty mark are done just with small beads. You'll want on hand a couple of C-clips, a hook, and you're welcome to have a holding hook too. And your loom in the offset configuration. We're going to make our feet first. So grab a single white, wrap it onto the hook 1, 2, 3, or 4 times, depending how tight you want it to be. Single white, stretch, twist, bring it back over itself, pull through, replace, grab a single skin tone band, wrap it on the end of the hook 1, 2, 3, or 4 times, and we're going to separate the loops from the white piece and bring it over the tan so that the tan sits in the middle. Take another white, stretch, twist, double it over, and slide through. Try to keep the pieces in order if you can. Replace. Grab another skin tone, put it on the end, 1, 2, 3, or 4 times if it's a looser band. Mine are kind of stretched out here. Bring the white piece over so that this skin tone is in the middle again. Now we're going to put this onto 6 sets of double or 2 skin tone bands. So 2 bands together onto the end. Carefully slide it through. Keep a little tension on it while you're pulling it through. So that's 1 set. 2. Let's try and keep this even. 3. 4. 5. And 6. And we're gonna switch to the navy or dark blue for the shorts and put on 2 sets of double blue bands. Okay, let's switch to, you can leave this where it is or put it in on another holding hook, and we're gonna make the other foot. So a single white wrapped on your hook 3 or 4 times onto a doubled over single white band. Slide to the middle, grab a skin tone band. Let's wrap it 1, 2, 3, or 4 if you want it a little extra tight. Slide the white pieces over so that it's in the middle. Pull onto another doubled over single white. Replace, skin tone on the end again. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Now again I'm saying 4 here because this one is a little too stretched out. Let me grab a different one. You'll only find, there we go, depending on the kind of band you're using or how many times you've used that band already, maybe you've had to go back and redo a part, you will find that sometimes you'll need an extra wrap just to give it that extra tightness. Okay, so we put that, we got that skin tone band back into the middle. Now we're going to put this all onto 2 skin tone bands, and then we need another 5 sets of double skin tone bands. so that we'll have a total of 6 in the end. And 2 sets of double blue, dark blue for the shorts. Take another 2 blue bounds, slide it on, and you can leave this where it is or put it on a separate hook. I'm gonna just leave it where it is for now. For the arms, we're gonna start with a 2 skin tone bands together. Wrap them on the hook 1, 2, 3 times. And we're gonna put this onto, let me do a quick count. I think it was 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, onto 6 doubled over singles. So take 1, twist, double it over, pull it through. Doesn't want to go this time. There we go. That's 1. And 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. This is going to curl a little bit, that's okay. Pick the color that you want for your shirt, and we're going to do 3 sets of double bands in that color. So I'm using a sort of light blue. I'm going to put 2 together, put it on the end, slide through, take another 2, put it on the end, slide through, and then 1 more set. Let's make the other arm, and we're going to do the hair chains and the nose a little bit later. Oh, I did that again. We need 2 bands for the hand. Now, if you're really trying to save bands here, maybe you're running short, you can leave it as just 1 at the top of the arm, or you can shorten one of your sections a little bit. And we need a total of 6 doubled over singles. And 6, and 3 sets of double shirt colored bands. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to move to the loom next and start filling that in. So we're going to begin with double skin tone bands from the top center to the second center peg. And once more, double bands, double skin tone, second center to third center. And then 2 sets of double bands in your shirt color. So I'm going to put down 2 blues and then 2 blues. We'll need 1 doubled over black from the 5th peg down to the 6th peg down in the middle. And just before you do that, hold on to that for a second, because we're going to grab a gold band. And get your hook ready. Where did I put my hook? There it is on the side. So wrap a gold on your hook 1, 2, 3 times. You can do 1 more or 1 less. Doubled over black, slide your gold on top, and then bring that from your 5th peg down to your 6th peg down. And that's for the belt buckle in the center. And then we need 1 set of dark blue bands. I know we're jumping back and forth between colors here, but it'll work itself out, believe me. That takes you to your 7th peg down in the middle. Now we're going to go back to our shirt color, and from the 2nd center to the 2nd on the right, come down with 2 and repeat for the opposite side. Both sides are going to mirror each other, so maybe I'll just tell you what goes down on each here. Now this is a choice you have. If you want the chest to be a little bit thicker, you can put extra bands here, and I used a total of 7. If you don't want that, then you can just put 2 bands down, and again that might depend on whether you're trying to save bands of a certain color for later, kind of. So I'm going to put down 1, hold on, 2, 3, I'm just gathering them in my hand here, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I will warn you, it can be a little challenging to loop, but it shouldn't be too bad. And I'm gonna do 7 on the other side. As I say, you might not want as many, and that's completely okay. So it's 4, 5, 6, and 7. You can also lay them out one by one if you don't want to put them on as a group. In fact, they'll probably sit a little bit straighter and layer better if you do them one by one. And we're going to do 2 sets of double shirt colored bands from the 3rd peg to the 4th peg on either side, and from the 4th peg to the 5th peg down on either side. And a doubled over black below those. And we want the black to be nice and tight so that it's just a small bit of color there for the belt, as I said. Other side, doubled over black. I'm trying to pick a good one here. And then we need 1 set of our shorts color double bands, so just 2 together. Let's take our arms and transfer them off the hook onto the 2nd pegs down on either side. You want to sort of look and see which way it's turning so that you can angle it down such that it's curving it, and you can see this one's kind of curving up, so I think I'm gonna put this one on the other side. If I still don't like it, I can kind of flip it around, make it go sort of backwards. See, now if I put this down, it's gonna go out to the side. I want it to come in. So you can use another hook or your fingers or the loom. I'm just gonna pinch it, pull my hook out, push it back from the opposite direction, and then transfer it. Okay, so now they're both kind of curling in. We need 2 blue bands to go through one of the legs here, and we're going to bring those 2 bands across from the 7th peg down in the middle to the 7th peg down on the side. So it's going to go diagonally along the bands that we left off at. Repeat for the opposite side. And a holding band or a capping band on the center 7th. So take a single, push the others down, wrap 1, 2, 3 times. You can do a little bit tighter if your band is feeling loose. We need some holding bands, so I would suggest, particularly if you have added some extra bands from the 2nd to the 3rd, that you use doubled over singles on the top, on the torso. So I doubled over a single shirt colored band. I'm bringing it across all of my 3rd pegs down, and it's going to make a little triangle. And let's do the same thing right underneath. And one more time underneath that. We want to have a nice cinched in waist. When you get to the next set, you can do a single or a doubled over single in dark blue. I think I'm just going to leave mine as a single this time. And I think we are ready to loop up the body. So let me get some of my bands out of the way. That's while I'm going to be reaching over. There is one sort of trick in the looping process, so please don't jump too far ahead of me. But there is one thing we have to do when we get to the belt. Otherwise it's somewhat standard looping, but I'll walk you through it all the same. So we go down to the 7th peg in the center, and we're going to be getting the legs that are coming from the far side. So what we have to do is untangle that, point the hook, the open part of the hook up and away, push back the capping band. Just going to pull these down a little more, pull this up a little more. So go inside and push it back, and you know what will make this easier because it's the same colors. I'm going to pull that piece with the leg down, reach under the cap, grab those bands, and then I can take it back off and down over to the space it came from. Go back into the same space, get your next two and bring them back towards you, and go inside one more to the 7th peg down and loop up once. Now we can loop up on either side up to the arm, and that's what we'll do. So we want to get to the bottommost bands. These 4 sets have 2 in them. This one has 7. You want to make sure you get them all. So pull out or push down your bottom 2 bands on the 7th peg down on the side closest to you. Get your hook under the bands with the legs, grab those double bands and bring them up and onto the next peg. Loop your black band carefully up, push back your holding band, loop forward, push back your holding band, loop forward, and you can loop these 7 up 1 at a time, 2 at a time, or all at a time, just as long as you make sure you get all of them and you're not taking the triangle band off, because that will release all of our tension. We don't want to do that. Let's make sure we get them all. There we go. And I'm going to reach inside the arm, under the arm. You might find it's helpful again here to pull those bands out to the side a little. We're going to reach through everything above and grab the bottom 2. Just the bottom 2. I picked up a 3rd one somewhere there by accident. And bring that to your 2nd peg down in the center. And we can repeat that on the far side or the right side. Grab your bottom 2 from under the leg, loop up, push back your holding bands, and loop up your next, I guess, 3, 4. Apologies for the music, my neighbors play it all day long. The next 7, oh, we're gonna bring it forward, but something is here that shouldn't be. Just make sure that stays down. Okay, that is all secure. Through the arm, get the bottom 2, bring it to the 2nd center. And now this is the part I asked you to hold off on when we are looping up the belt. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring up the bottom, hold it on my finger, and then this is a little tricky, but we're going to go from the top of the loom downwards through the gold bands. Now if you're having an impossible time, you can take this piece off again and wrap your gold one less time. Now put your black on, slide your gold over the top of the hook, and then place your black band down again. Oh, it's slipping, slipping. Which is why I said this is sort of a hard part, but there we go. Just do it carefully, do it slowly, you should be okay. Into that 5th peg down, loop up your next 2 from the bottom. There shouldn't be much in your way here. We're going to loop to the top of the loom and bottom 2 skin tones. Hold on to the bands on the top center peg and you can remove the rest from the loom at this point. wonder if you can hear that music. It seems very loud to me, but I'm not quite sure how that's going to carry onto the camera. I hope not too bad. Okay, put your hook through the bands on the top center peg when you feel you've released enough of the tension to be able to take the figure off. So this is the back we're looking at. You don't have to do anything because we're actually going to lay this down back first when we come to the body. But if you do see any loose bands, that's fine a time as any to fix them up, to straighten them up. Okay, so now we are ready to start on the hair and the face. Okay, so for the hair, we're gonna get out our dark orange bands. Start at the top with double oranges from the top center to the top right or far side, and back to the side closest to you. Come down once on each row with double orange bands. And then on the middle, we need 3 sets of double skin tone bands. This is the same tone we used for our arms and our legs, and our neck for that matter. This is 3. And on either side, we're going to come down twice with double skin tone. I wouldn't normally do this, but I've got to show you. It's the most beautiful sunset here right now. You see that? Okay. We're going to take 2 skin tone from the 4th side to the 5th center. And opposite side. Sorry, I couldn't help it. The sunset is so gorgeous, and I can never get a proper picture, but it'll just show up on video. So I thought I would treat you to that, if only for a split second there. Okay, let's put some holding bands on. So we're going to need a doubled over single skin tone across the second pegs down, and another one below that. And that actually can be the one you use in your eyes. So maybe I'll move that down for the moment, and we can do our eyes next. So on my original, my eyes just went onto a single. You can have a single or a doubled over single. And let's put that together now. So grab a skin tone band, get it at the ready. Move this out of the way. Okay, so I've got 2 beads here with pupils drawn on already, but as I said, you can draw yours on whenever you're ready. You can do it when your full face and project is together, or now. Otherwise, you can use beads. I'm going to use a piece of dental floss because these particular beads have small holes that are hard to get through with the hook. So to thread these onto a band, we put a piece of floss through each, well, through both I should say, and then we're going to run it through a skin tone band and come back up and over and return it through the same holes. Now if you'd like to use bands, you can pick your color of choice, wrap 2 bands of that color onto your hook, about three wraps each, 3 times each, and then transfer them from the hook onto a single skin tone. And whichever eyes you have decided to make, they can, I'm going to put them on this way, then go on to your 3rd pegs down on either side. Just even that out a little bit. And you want to get your finger or your hook between the top and the bottom part of that band in the middle, between the eyes, whether it's bands or beads, and pull that over the 3rd peg down in the center. Now you can't see my pupils, my character's pupils right now, because this is the back we're looking at, and I've turned them to face forward. We can add the body now. So the part you want to be the front is going to face away from you, and the neck piece on the hook will be transferred, all 4 loops here, onto the 5th peg down in the center. we've got a nose to make. I want to make sure I get everything as we go here. And I left those brown bands over on the side, but my other brown bands will do. And I didn't write down what I did, but I think I remember. It's going to be 2 brown bands. The darker the better. You could also use a red or an orange, but I think brown is kind of closest. Wrap 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Take a single brown, double it over, pull it through, put it on the other end of the hook, pull it through your wrapped bands. Till it's sliding nicely, and replace the other end. And you can grab a single skin tone, pull that through the brown and bring that across from your 3rd peg down on one side to your 3rd peg down on the other side, so right under the eyes. We're going to do a couple of hair chains, hair extensions. Now you can see I've only got the 1 on either side. If you want to add some extras, you can. I'm not sure where the best place to add that would be. I guess you could put it on your 4th pegs down and have some shorter chains once you've done the others, or you could have a couple stuck onto the 4th peg down in the middle. Just bear in mind it's kind of going to be there when you're looping. So the hair chains for the side are going to be take a single band, wrap it twice, and pull it onto 8 sets of double hair colored bands. And we're going to do 1 of these for each side, but we'll attach them as we go. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and I'm going to make this exactly as I made my first one. So this will go from the hook onto the top center peg. This is going to get a little bit layered up. Just heads up, that's what's going to happen. Turning this around just so I can stretch it without, stretch it while keeping on camera for you. Popped off there. So what we're going to do is stretch it around to the side and grab 1 piece out of each link of the chain. Take the first one that you can grab a piece from, pull it over the top side. The next one will go over the second one down on that side, and a 3rd time and a 4th time. So I'll turn this back around. This is the top. We placed it here and we connected it to each of those 4 on the side, and we're going to do the exact same thing for the opposite side. So a single wrapped twice onto 8 sets of double orange bands. This is 7 and 8. Goes back over the top center peg. You're going to have to push these down just a little bit as you go. Don't let them pop up on you. And bring it around, stretch it over, take 1 piece out of each link. I'm not too worried about whether you're grabbing 1 from the top or the bottom, but do try to take from the same kind of area each time. So if I'm taking from the top section on the inside here. I don't want to go on the next one and grab from the bottom and pull it around, because that's when it's going to get twisted, if you know what I mean. Try to grab one of them from the inside, and if you're using the bottom ones, try for the bottom ones. If you're grabbing from the top, this one doesn't want to go. Just try to be consistent as best you can, and then it won't be too twisty. Okay, let me check my picture, but I think we're ready to go. That looks like it. Oh, one more. We've got this little piece. Now, you might have a different way you'd like to do it. Again, as I said, I'm gonna copy my first one exactly. So single wrapped twice, hold on to 5 sets of double orange. 2, glad I remembered that. 3, 4, and 5. I mean, we could have added it on after, but it's nice to have it in place already. And let's just see where we put that. So this is going to go onto the top, and you can move it to the side closest to you or the side furthest away. You probably want to do it to the side further away, like on the right side of the loom. I'm going to go to the left because, as I said, I'm going to do exactly what I did before. And basically, I'll just explain why, because I want this to make sense to you. So this is the back, and this piece came sticking out here. So I wanted it on this side, and I pulled it through, and I like the way it looks. If you just want it to automatically stick out without having to go through, then you would put it over on the right, because this is your back side. But either way, like whatever, it will work either which way. Okay, let's loop it up. Pull your body down out of the way. You can even stick it onto the next peg if it's hard to work around. Grab your 2 bands coming from the left side and loop them back. The next 2 are coming from the right, so we'll scoop those out. And the next ones are going up. You can loop straight up the center. Just go right past the nose, push back the band with your eyes, loop up your orange. And on the side, we're going for the bottom 2s. Push back everything except those bottom 2s. It's very busy over here. Got lots of bands going on around these pegs. Push back, bottom 2 skin tones, bottom 2 orange, and bottom 2 coming to the center from that top side peg. Loop up the other side. Same thing. Oh, I almost took off a couple I didn't want to. So of course you can always turn your loom to the side or pull the pieces out. Even stick them on a hook or a C-clip if you're having a hard time getting a good grab or sight of them. Bottom 2 into the middle. Make sure you've got everything, because you don't want this to undo at this point, I'm sure. Grab a single, take your hook, point the open part away from you, push your hook through all of those bands on the top center peg. Now you might want to use 2 bands to secure. I'm just going to use 1 for now, but you can use 2 if you're worried. Put it on the end of the hook, hold it with a little tension, and as you're sliding it back through, you can turn your hook so the open part faces up. Other side goes on. Bottom part goes up and over the top of the hook to create a slip knot. You can hold this on your finger, a hook, or a C-clip, and carefully remove Roxanne from the loom. Very carefully. If any of your bands are weak or your loom is weak, be extra careful, because we've got a lot going on here, a lot of tension. We had a few doubled over bands, so just be careful. Don't want anything to snap. It's never pretty when it does. Turn it around, hide any loose bands. Oh, I was wondering why the coloring was funny there. That's our brown nose band. So you can draw on something for your eyes. tighten any loose bands. I'm gonna go to the back for a minute, and I'm just gonna pull in that skin tone if I can find it, because it's sort of sticking out there. There it is. So you can go under a nearby band, pull your securing band under, put that onto a C-clip. We just have a couple more finishing touches, next of which is the nose. I'm going to put the C-clip under another nearby band. So you can see my hair piece kind of came out on the wrong side. I want it here. So what I did before, and I kind of like the effect, is I pressed it under, made a hole, stuck it through to the front side. And that way it kind of sits like right over the forehead, which is kind of cute, I think. Now open up the space right under between the eyes. You can use your hook or your fingers. Your fingers will probably do. Pull the nose through to the front. And we are almost done. I'll just show you really quickly for the earrings. You probably have the idea already. This is similar to what we did for the eyes. We're going to put our floss through our bead. You can use a white band, but I'm not sure how nice that will look, to be honest. Through a band, back over and through the bead. These beads I have are very little, but they make such nice pearl earrings. Slide it through, and then what we can do is sort of weave it in. So I'm going to reach through where I want the ear to be, pull one side back, come back through a little bit further in, grab the other side and pull it through, and put one side over the other and put that onto a C-clip. And it's basically, I don't think I'll do both the earrings for you because the other one is done the exact same way, just on the opposite side, and you can feel around, look around for where you want it to sit exactly. For the little beauty mark, which is of course optional, once again I would say a black matte band can be used, but it might look a little funny. Show you the same thing with the bead. This is a navy bead. I don't have any black ones handy right now, but run it through the bead, through your floss, back through. I'll show you how I would go about doing a black band as well, for those of you who don't have a bead and want to try. And if you're looking for beads, they are not hard to find. Most craft stores, dollar stores, even department stores do have sets of small beads. So garage sales, if you're looking for it, you can pretty much look anywhere. Okay, so I'm gonna go through the face, pull one side back, and then come up just a little bit to the side. There isn't an exact place to, like an exact band to go through. You just have to sort of feel your way. And once more, you can put one side over the other and stick that onto a C-clip on the back. Okay, so let me just hold this up for you. You got two different eye styles there, I guess. And so there is Roxanne. And thank you for watching. I think we're done for today. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.